Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to FranCoach's Franchising 101 podcast series. I am Tim Parmeter, your host and founder of FranCoach. FranCoach is a national search firm dedicated to help people find the absolute best franchise for them to own. Our podcasts are here to design, and they're designed to help you take a brief look at some of the most relevant topics and questions we hear from our clients as they explore franchise ownership. We hope this will be helpful to you. Today's episode is something that I think is very, relevant for the current coronavirus pandemic. I'm sure you've probably heard something about that. But it's also a very common question and concern that we have heard for years. And that's really about timing. Is now the right time to start a franchise? How do we know if it's the right time to start a franchise? Something we hear all the time. And timing is a huge aspect of this. And even more so now with COVID-19, that kind of gets flipped. Jesus, now is a bad time to consider franchise ownership. So let's touch on this for a little bit. So first, and we're going to do our best on our series to not look past this, but let's hope everyone is safe and healthy. But we're going to try to really not talk about coronavirus the entire time. But a couple of things are happening right now. We've all heard of the fight or flight situation. But I think what we see a lot more now in both our clients and in franchises, businesses, just in general, our existence is either fight or freeze. So some people and some businesses are just going to kind of freeze up right now. And if that's kind of where you're going to sit, then you know what, it's not the right time to consider anything. But for so many people, the timing of this is really ideal for a couple of reasons. So first is, if we think about just the time of the process, we're recording this first week of April. So if we were talking to somebody and had our very first conversation with them today, we're going to go through a couple of steps to just kind of our normal process of kind of building out what somebody might want. And then we're going to get them connected to the best possible franchise matches. That discovery process, that vetting takes 6 to 8 weeks, right? So we're sitting here, we might be, if we kind of move through this quickly, end of May, 1st of June, before somebody has worked their way all the way through the process, found the franchise that's the perfect fit for them. The franchise awarded them the opportunity, right? So we've hit the match. It's kind of the marriage. We're looking 1st of June, right? So now, okay, well, hopefully at that point we've got a heck of a lot more clarity on what's going on in all of our lives, right? That's first, but that's still not when we're open, right? So from that point on, if we're talking about a franchise that is a non-retail opportunity, from that point, now we're sitting at some point in June where we've signed the franchise agreement. We now have to go through all of the pre-training, which is very extensive, and then eventually the in-person kind of real owner training program. And that can take 60 to 90 days. Not to mention we got some funding things in there. So that right now could delay that timeline. But so now all of a sudden we go from signing a franchise agreement in June, and now we're looking at mid-August into maybe mid-September of when you're looking to launch and open your new franchise. Again, none of us know what's going to happen exactly, but pretty much across the board, people can look at the fall and go, hey, hopefully we're back to kind of as normal of an existence as we can have and kind of what we had before. That's when you're looking at to start looking at a franchise right now. That's when you're going to be open. And that's if it's a non-retail franchise, which of the 500 or so we work with, about half of them fall into that category. Now, if you want to look at something that is a retail franchise, we're still going to know which is the best one by probably June, but it's going to take 6 to 12 months from there before you're even open. So now we're looking at end of this year, maybe first quarter of 2021, maybe even closer to the summer, depending on kind of how big the retail space is. And again, we should be so far past all of this by then, that we don't have to worry about kind of the corona, right? And so that fight or flight, or really fight or freeze right now, if it's something that people have ever considered, the timing of when to have that business open is just outstanding, right? The other piece of this is funding. So the probably everybody has seen something about the CARES Act and the stimulus program designed to help existing business owners, businesses of all shapes and sizes. Franchises are hugely a part of this. So, folks that are self-employed, all the independent contractors, again, just insane amount of money that's being set aside for all of us, right? But what's there for somebody that wants to be a new franchise owner at this point, kind of their first foray into this? What's there? What are some of the advantages? Well, the SBA, Small Business Administration, their loan and their interest rates, not unlike the housing market, are just. It's been well over a decade since those interest rates have been as low as they are now. That's enormous. And that's a big part of how people tend to fund franchises. You have that for sure. The retirement rollover is always a kind of a key thing people can use for funding their franchise. But there's also another part of the stimulus package that essentially doubled the amount of money you can tap into and access from your 401k, even if it's with your current employer, that was never possible before, and you're able to do that at little to no cost, penalty, fee, tax, and the amount went from 50,000 to 100,000. So again, you've got another avenue to be able to assist you from a funding perspective. So you do have some advantages that are there for new franchises to be able to get launched, and all things, again, kind of our team is here to help you with. So from a timing perspective, again, I think the other side of this that we talked to people already about is, unfortunately, an enormous amount of people have already been, let go. The new term I see now is furloughed, right? We used to be downsized, now we're furloughed. Basically, it means you don't have a job anymore, and that's an unfortunate situation. But even people that are still working and now working from home and settling into that routine a little bit, and understanding that kind of freedom, flexibility, like, oh my gosh, I can really get a lot done once I settle in on the work and not have to go to an office and not have to deal with whatever is going on in the office that sometimes gets us bogged down and beat down. Take that opportunity now to have a conversation, to learn a little bit more. Again, part of our process, we tell people every day, the first goal for us with our clients is helping you determine if franchise ownership is the right path. It might not be, and that's okay, but it might be. And the only way to find out is to take that first step. Again, the timing when we're going to all come out of this and have that business to be launched is just fantastic. The incredibly low interest rates through the SBA, the ability to access 401k funds without penalty, without tax, without even having to do a rollover, which is a fantastic option. But we can almost even eliminate that to be able to do this. Not to mention that people now, hey, we're all home. We have a little bit more time and access to the phone without a boss looking over our shoulder. If you talk to us, don't worry that the kids are asking you about their homework. We get it. We're doing the same thing as well. But if you've ever considered franchise ownership and wondered if now the timing is bad, it's not. It may not be better anytime soon to take a look at this from your time and flexibility, to have a conversation, to learn more, get yourself educated, a little bit of your homeschooling maybe on this, to look at the timing to get a new business launched and the funding options. All three of those things are lining up fantastic. So if it's something you'd like to learn a little bit more about, please contact us. Hop on our website, FranCoach.net. You can reach out to us there. We'll get a call. Schedules, never any fee for our service. Feel feel free to check out the other resources and the articles and things of that nature. You can obviously track us down social media. We're all over the place. And we hope this is helpful. And we'd love to be able to talk to you. Reach out. Also, if there's ever another topic that you'd like us to discuss that we haven't covered already, shoot us a note online as well. We'd love to hear from you. And again, thanks so much for tuning in. And we encourage you to reach out today. Talk to us, take that first step towards creating your better tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to the FranCoach Franchising 101 podcast series. Stay safe, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and we hope to talk to you soon. Thanks.